Tell the people about your past. So, how are your dad and your boyfriend? Oh, don't forget your lovely, trustworthy best friend. How's she going these days? I'm left with shock. The entire world seems to pause at the moment I hear his words. Then, it is put in rewind. All the painful memories in the deep of my head cause my heart to ache and overdrive. To be honest, I miss my father. I still, Phillips even now. Although it is painful for me to admit it. But I miss him terribly. Not to mention my best friend. Yes, indeed, Jolene hurt me so deeply. But the longing for our fun moments and traditions always flash back in front of my eyes, and I still miss her. I didn't realize I dropped the apple I was eating on the floor until Brian picked it up for me. My breathing becomes deep, and the tears threaten to spill out of my eyes any moment now. Harrison, leave her the fuck alone, Brian begins to say. Oh, shut up, Brian. You may want to hear this about your best friend too, Harrison snaps, emphasizing the word best friend deliberately. Then, he starts to laugh. It is sarcastic and fake. Soon, Faye's girly laugh joins in with his. Honestly speaking, I now want to crawl in a hole and die. I just want to rot and die. Look at her. She can't even stand up for herself. All she could do is sit and cry. She's pathetic, so pathetic. Perhaps that's why your father chose his hot, bang-able wife over you, Jesse, he spits. Perhaps that's also why your loving boyfriend and amazing best friend decided to sleep around behind your back. Isn't she pathetic? He shouts to everyone in the canteen. Everyone stays quiet. Shock suppress all their faces. I just sit there looking at the wall at the far end of the canteen. For a moment, I feel embarrassed, ashamed of my own life, and most of all, I feel pathetic. Harrison's words sink into my brain, but they are quickly washed away when I hear my brother's voice in my head. You are strong, Andrew reminds me. Brian stands up from his seat and walks towards Harrison. He glares at him and doesn't stop nearing him until he is standing face to face with him. I just told you to leave her the fuck alone. I see Brian's eyes turn from its normal color to yellow and back again. Yes, you did, and I heard it loud and clear. So, what you going to do about it? Harrison challenges him. We quickly stand up. I feel the anger surges through my body. I turn to look at Brian. Brian, calm down, I say, but he just gives me a quick glance and continues to glare at Harrison. No, Jesse. I don't like how he treated you, he simply says. I grabbed Brian's arm and looked him in the eyes seriously. I felt a surge of strength inside of me. Brian, please calm down. He closed his eyes and I saw his body relax. He opened his eyes again and it was back to normal. He just nodded regretfully and sat down. I turn around and face Harrison. His expression on his face looks amusing, but it is quickly wiped away when he looks into my eyes. I stare at him, not adoringly but hatefully. I glare at him until I can't take it anymore. I punch hard him in the face. His head whips to the left due to the impact. He looks at me in shock before he touches his bloody lip. I give myself a smile in my head when I realize I just punched him in the kisser. All that boxing lessons at the gym finally paid off. I clap loudly and laugh bitterly. Wow, Harrison, you've successfully made my life a living hell during the past 3 weeks. Everything you did was such an entertainment, but this, I say sarcastically as I wave my fist around us for emphasis. This tops the list. Congratulations. Now for your prize. Oh, the prizes. What do you want? Probably to stain my shirt again, or starve me to death like a real man does? I continue and laugh bitterly again. Oh wait, I almost forgot. You aren't even a real man. Real men don't do that stuff. Harrison flinches when he sees the tears start to stream down on my face. His own deep blue eyes are darkened and he looks painful. I roll my eyes at him again. You want to know something, Harrison? You all want to know something? Maybe it would make me more pathetic. But what the hell does it matter? After all, you all seem to be so interested in my life. I wave at all the people who has laughed at me when Harrison used to tease me. Even if it hurts me to admit it, I miss them. I guess you are right, Harrison. Yeah, I'm pathetic. But you are such a psychic. Jesse, I didn't mean, Harrison begins to say. However, it makes me more furious. Oh, shut up, Harrison. You meant everything. I scream in his face, and he flinches one again. Just shut the fuck up and don't talk to me. Just leave me the fuck alone. I hate you, I say, my voice cracking at the end. I start to walk towards the exit of the canteen. Everyone's eyes are on me, but I ignore them all. Someone grabs my arm and tingles, erupts from our physical contact. I glare at Harrison in disgust again. Didn't I tell you to fucking leave me alone? What more do you want from me? Aren't you satisfied? I laugh again, bitterly. Oh wait, Mr. White always has to win a fight. So smack me, hit me, kick me, do whatever you want. Make my life even more pathetic. His grip tightens around my arm. I wouldn't do that to you, Jesse. You don't really hate me, do you? He sounds so vulnerable and his eyes plead with me to say no. However, I am strong. Jessica Turner might be pathetic, but I am not weak. I roll my eyes at him. Fuck you, Harrison. I hate you, I clearly state. He flinches and let go of my arm. He looks broken and his eyes are glazed with tears. I start to walk away again, shaking my head in disbelief. I hate his ignorance, ego, and personality. I hate his teasing, his practical jokes, and all the crap he has done to me. I hate his smirk, his cockiness, and everything irritating about him. But you know what the funny thing is? I don't hate him at all, not one bit. There is this connection I seem to have with him, and I hate myself for thinking that. Jesse, I'm sorry, Harrison calls out to me. His voice is soft and apologizing. However, I just continue to walk away from him. The tears drip down my face and onto my shirt. I scoff. I'm tired of hearing that word. I say, Yun, love. It's a 4-letter word, 2 vowels, 2 consonants, 1 syllable. Hate. It's a 4-letter word, 2 vowels, 2 consonants, 1 syllable. However, they are both 2 of the many strongest words a person can say. I'm sitting on the window pane of my room, staring at the dark and eerie forest again. Somehow, it feels so comforting to me right now. It's 2 hours after the whole lunch drama, and I decide to cut school. My eyes are red and puffy, and I'm still crying. You're probably wondering why. Well, after arguing with myself, I can't hide my feelings anymore. Ooh, Harrison. However, I feel like fate makes me fall in love with some jerk. I hate and love him at the same time. How strange is that? God, I think I really am pathetic. I cry again, quickly wiping the tears from my face. I thought I told you that you were strong, my darling. A familiar and deep voice says from behind me. I turn around to find out who that is. The person who is so close to me, but yet so far away, was now standing in my room. He hasn't changed a bit. His hazel eyes twinkle in the dark room. His brown hair is swept to the side. His smile makes one dimple appear on his face. Gosh, he looked so much like my mom. He is still gorgeous and well-built. I stared at him in shock. Andrew, I whisper. Harrison's POV. I hate you. Those words ring in my head clearly. It replays over and over again, haunting and torturing me. Jessie's voice threatens me. Her words burns me. Every tear she sheds makes me flinch. She glares at me as if she wants me dead. I can feel the hurt radiating off of her, and my wolf growls at me for doing such a thing. As those same 3 words repeats again and again in my head, I stand stock still. My hands are in tight fists. However, I'm not angry at anyone. I'm just angry at myself. The canteen is dead silent. Everyone's eyes are glued on me. Jessie had just left, and with her presence gone, I feel cold. A few moments ago, I got what I wanted. I wanted her to look at me with hatred. Now, I regret it. All I want from her is to have my arms around her, to protect her, to have her eyes gleam at me with adoration. I want her lips to be firmly pressed against mine, her smile to brighten me up every day, her beautiful laugh to send my heart into overdrive. But I lose that all, because my ego takes the best of me. I regret what I did, yes. I will not deny the mistake I have just made. She has every right to be angry with me. She isn't pathetic at all. I am the one who's pathetic. There was no one to blame but myself. I have one thing in common with Jesse. I hated myself too. The silence is broken with the sound of footsteps erupting from behind me. Oh baby, you're so sexy when you're angry, Faye. Or was it hey? Purrs in my ear. I shiver in disgust. I want no one but Jessie. Hay must have thought her words brought me pleasure because she runs her hands up my leg and inches her fingers closer to my crotch. I flinch and smack her hand away. Hey, we're over, I say. She sniffles and the waterworks starts. I roll my eyes at her vulnerability. After about 5 minutes of bawling her eyes out, she slaps my face, but it doesn't faze me. Jessie's punch still overwhelmed me. It's Faye, you bastard. With that, she walks away without looking behind. The Raven Pack surrounds me, and I straighten my posture. I can't be seen as weak, especially to them. They all look at me in disgust, but I just stare at them casually. My white, Brian speaks up. Quite a heartbreaker, huh? I remain silent. You're lucky we have a truce. Otherwise, you'd score a black eye and a few broken bones. Forget the truce, Jennifer spits and struts towards me. However, James holds her back and she wriggles to get free. Her eyes are full of hatred. James, let me go. This bastard deserves none of our respect. Jennifer, just calm down. One day, he will pay the price. He does not deserve our respect, but his father does, Brian said, still glaring at me. Fair warning, Mr. White. I watched them retreat. I don't care what they had to say. The only thing that matters to me is Jessie. But I lost her, and it is entirely my fault. Jessie's POV, Andrew. I repeat louder this time. I jump up from my seat and literally tackle him to the ground. It's really you. Am I dreaming? My brother chuckles and pinches my arm. Ouch, what the hell? I glare at him. You just asked if you were dreaming. You know the phrase, pinch me if I'm dreaming. I roll my eyes and punch his chest playfully. What are you doing here? What? I can't come and visit my little sister? He asks, feigning hurt. No, it's just that I haven't seen you in 2 years, Andrew. Seriously, why are you here? 1. Our bastard father dumped you and I came to check up on you. Seems like it was a good thing for me to come. His smile stretches, and the dimple on his right cheek deepened. 2. I'm getting married. My smile reaches from ear to ear and I jump up in excitement. You're kidding me. Ever since he was 15, he's been searching for the one. He was doubtful, though. My parents' divorce scarred him. Amanda, come in, he calls out. A pretty blonde comes into the room. She has fudge brown eyes and her smile is friendly. Andrew puts his arm around her affectionately and he smiles down at her. Jessica, this is my fiancée, Amanda. Amanda, this is Jessica. Hi, just call me Jessie. I shake her hand. It's nice to meet you. Pleasure is all mine, she says. So, when's the date? Yeah. And where is it? I'm free to help, if anything. November 23. Here, in the Grand Jasmine Hotel. Andrew announces proudly. Oh, I'm so happy for you two. I squeal in excitement. But that's in 2 months. How's everything going to work in just 2 months? We got it down, Jessie. When have I failed? I roll my eyes. He's still the same cocky guy I knew. Let me think. When you tried to sneak out that one time. Oh, what about that time when you tried to put a lizard in Mrs. Dania's lunch pail? Oh, and that time. Okay, you proved your point, he says annoyed. Amanda simply laughs at him. I'm going to marry a failure, she adds jokingly. I smile at her. You know, I like her already. Baby, isn't that what you love about me? Andrew turns to look at me. Anyways, Amanda and I are taking you out. Be ready in 30 minutes, my little sis. After shopping in 300 different stores, trying on thousands of shoes, putting on multiple outfits, cutting my hair, getting my eyebrows waxed, and getting to know Amanda, I am totally exhausted. I need time for myself. Not to mention, I'm kind of getting grossed out watching Andrew and Amanda making kissy faces with each other. Sure, I'm happy for them, but I'm grossed out in so many levels. I look up at the sky, and it is dark out. The stars sprinkle across the black sky, and the lampposts light up the crowded streets. I love Pitt Street. It is one place me and my mother always used to go when I'm feeling down. Okay, so what Luby do you ladies want to watch? Andrew asks. His arm is slung over Amanda's shoulder. He bends down and kisses her cheek. The image of them making out during the entire movie dances in my head. Actually, why don't you two just go on without me? I think you need some alone time with each other, I offer eagerly. Andrew looks at me suspiciously. But the point of us taking you out is all about you tonight. Yeah, right. Making kissy faces with each other is all for me? How lovely. No, believe me, I'm having fun and I really appreciate all you two have done for me tonight. I have to stop by the bookstore for my essay that's due next week, I lie to them. Andrew looks at me for a while. His eyes narrowed, clearly trying to see if I'm lying. After a while, he shakes his head and gives up. Okay then, but meet us at the Froyo in an hour. Amanda and I are going to stop by one last store. I won't be long, I smile at them. We finally part our ways, and I suddenly feel so relieved. I walk down Pitt Street, heading for the bookstore. This part of Pitt Street is empty. No one really hangs out in the education department. However, I find it calming. It has a peaceful atmosphere. There are not a lot of people, and it is silent. I close my eyes, relishing the feel of the night air against my skin. The dim yellow lighting of the small bookstore spills out onto the street. I start to walk towards it. However, I freeze in my tracks when I hear footsteps behind me. I turn slowly, and no one is there. Something is definitely wrong. My stomach twists and turns in nervousness. Sweat covers my palms. I continue to walk quickly. However, I'm not fast enough. Someone grabs my arm from inside the alley. His hand gripped my arm so tight, I'm sure I would have bruises. Before I could suppress a scream for help, the stranger puts his hand over my mouth. I can't see his features, but I'm sure it was a man. He is hidden in the dark shadows. I feel the tears spill out of my eyes and I shake in terror. He laughs at me for being a coward. However, there was no note of humor in it. It was one of those kinds where it was dry and bitter. He let go of my mouth and I start to scream. Shut up, he smacks me. My cheek stings and I feel hot tears roll down my cheek faster. No one can... You hear you. What, you want money? Just take my purse, I say with my heart stuck in my throat. No, girl. I don't need any money. I'll get plenty of that after I'm done with you. What, you're going to rape Mummy? He presses something cold into my neck. The sharp object pricks my skin. A knife. I squeezes my eyes shut and my blood runs cold. I'm going to die. Even if you are a pretty girl. The man trails his fingers in between my breast. I shiver in disgust. That is not what I was required to do. Yeah, now, hold still. Cutting you piece to piece will only take a second. He chuckles again. Just then, I kick his crotch. It is the one thing my brother always tells me to do. He groans and grabs it as a reflex. I start to run away, but he is too quick. He tackles me to the ground, and my head makes an ugly crunching noise. He is on top of me now. I am trapped. I wriggle under him and grunt. Get off of me. I had enough of you. Time's up, the man says, and I see him for the first time under the moonlight. He has dark, long hair that is gathered up in a ponytail. He is probably in his mid-20s. Get off me, I yell out. You heard her. A familiar voice sounds from the entrance of the alleyway. Ah, Harrison. Always the hero, I might say. The man looks up from me to him. What the hell is Harrison doing here? Gary, didn't you hear the girl? Or perhaps you are deaf, Gary chuckles. He then turns his eyes back to me. He grabs the knife and presses it to my throat. I flinch as the cold blade pricks my skin once more. I scream, but it comes out hoarse and shallow. Can't do. I'll be more than a rich man after I'm done with her. I look at Harrison once more. My eyes are filled with tears and I plead with him to save me. Harrison growls, and the next thing I know, his clothes ripped and gray fur take over his skin. I stare at the beast in horror as it jumps over me skillfully, sending Gary and itself crashing to the ground. Gary grunts, probably from the impact of the tackle. The beast has its paws pinned on Gary's shoulders. However, Gary just chuckles. Meanwhile, I am freaking out. I think I'm dreaming. I think of that thought for a while. Yep, I'm definitely dreaming. In a matter of seconds, I will wake up and go to school like every normal teenage girl in this world. The beast looks over at me, its deep blue eyes twinkling in amusement. How could he find a situation like this funny? This beast looks so awfully familiar. I stare at it with wide eyes as the realization comes across my face. It is the very beast that attacked me about a month ago. 1. You aren't dreaming, Jesse. 2. I think you should calm down because you look like a stick went up your ass. A familiar deep voice fills my head. It's Harrison's voice. Great, now I'm just going plain crazy. You are crazy. Just calm down. I will explain everything later. The beast's eyes turn into a dark black. It's eye-catching, even in the dim lighting that is provided to us in this alley. I'm still laying on the ground, propped up on my right elbow, trying to make sense of what is going on. My gaze is fixed on those two black eyes. Just calm down, Harrison repeats. All of a sudden, a warm sensation engulfs me. It feels like a warm, thick blanket being placed on me during a cold winter's night. Gary chuckles, waking me up from my reverie. However, I remain calm. I'm still under the beast's, Harrison's, spell. Harrison, this is not a fair brawl, Gary says. I am in lockdown, due to numerous tasks people inquire me to do for them. I am well aware that you know of the rule the experts have passed among us. You don't want to disappoint your father, do you? They look at each other for a short period. Ah, that is accurate. You could execute me for threatening to kill the young female. However, perhaps you may want to find out who wants her terminated. Gary chuckles. Another short moment passes between them. It occurs to me that Harrison is speaking to him telepathically. We'll make a deal. Return into your human form and we'll deal with this like real men do. Harrison slowly retreats from Gary. His eyes never leaves the man, even as he stands up. Harrison shakes out his fur, almost like a dog does. Suddenly, his fur recedes into his body and smooth, golden-toned skin stand out. Who is it? Harrison demands through clenched teeth. You are so much like your father. Impatient, rude, and demanding, Gary sighs. He gets that right. And Harrison thinks I look like I had a stick up my butt? He looks like he has one stuck up his ass every day, I thought while rolling my eyes. I heard that cupcake, Harrison snapped. Anyways, I have no time for this. I'm disappointed though, I could have been a rich man. Gary clucks his tongue and shakes his head disbelievingly. It goes by the name of Darkness Angel. What kind of information is that? Harrison's voice increased, bouncing off the walls in the alley. Was it a woman? A man? What did they look like? I would like to know myself. However, we handled this business over email. I must warn you, they offered a whole lot of cash. They are really determined to exterminate her. Before the police arrive, boy, I think we should all clear out. Though, I wonder why you are concerned over a human being. But that is none of my business. Gary walked away from the alley. His footsteps echoed. I curl up into a ball and start to sway back and forth. Oh my gosh, I'm really going crazy. Any moment now, I'll wake up from this horrible nightmare, I whisper to myself. Harrison comes into my line of vision and squats down beside me. I glance at his body and he is still naked. I blush ferociously and look away quickly. Oh, sorry, he murmurs. I stick my hand into one of my shopping bags and looks for one of the jeans Andrew bought for himself. I throw it at Harrison and he changes. I look up at him and he just smirks. He isn't wearing any shirt and I'm ogling his six-pack. Oh gosh, why does he have to be so sexy? I heard that, cupcake, Harrison says, smirking. How? Come with me. It's not safe to talk here, he says sincerely, holding out his hand. But I never take it. He sighs. Trust me, just this one time. For some odd reason, I followed him. I get up and dust my jeans off and follow him into the woods that are at the back of Pitt Street. I would have been scared to walk into the depths of the trees, but being with Harrison made me feel safe. It's completely and utterly dark once we step into the eerie woods. A gust of wind passes and brings the smell of fresh dirt and trees. Harrison walks in front of me. How could he see this dark at night was beyond me. I could literally see nothing in here. The trees blocked any light the moon offered from entering in. I hear a strange noise, and I jump up. My initial reflex is to grab onto Harrison's hand. He chuckles and wraps his fingers around mine. It's not an electrical shock. It's a warm sensation. It makes me crave for more, actually. I couldn't shake the thought of how perfect my hand fit in his. As cliché as this may sound, it is as if we were made for each other. I smacked myself mentally. I'm with stupid, idiotic, egoistic jerk here. Scared, Cupcake? Harrison's deep voice says in the darkness. It has a hint of humor in it. No. I just can't see, I stutter. Right, he says sarcastically. We walk in silence. It's just the two of us holding hands, and he is probably smirking. Egoistic brat. We're here, Harrison whispers as he tugs me into a clearing. There are several logs on the side. Despite the darkness of the woods, this is the only place that had some light source. The moon casts a dim light onto the clearing, and the grass glistens with dew. Some flowers and wild plants rescattered here. It's absolutely gorgeous here. I quickly drop Harrison's hand. Out of the corner of my eye, I think I see Harrison stiffen. Nah, I'm probably hallucinating again. It's beautiful here, I say. Yeah, the pack and I like to come here when we go hunting. I look at him, obviously confused. Harrison doesn't answer. Leaning on a tree and crossing his arms, he looks at me. What do you want to know first? What? I say, trying to find the right words. What exactly are you? A werewolf, he simply replies and shrugs. How? When the moon was first created by what we call healers, a friend of theirs betrayed him, or that's what that legends have said. Harrison clears his throat. We call him Sakuda. He is an Indian man who has stolen the healer's necklace to heal his ill wife, something that none of us has found in 1,000,000 years. By punishing him, Sakuda was made to be a werewolf, something they considered evil and dark back then. Being a werewolf, he couldn't go home at night when the full moon was out. He had a pregnant wife, and because of his punishment, he couldn't see the birth of his first son, and he was constantly on the run because of the hunters. Many people were frightened by him and wanted him dead, even his wife, the woman he dedicated his life to. The healers even killed his own son, fearing that he was made from dark magic. Sakuda was angered by this. Therefore, he figured that mating with many women will make him grow a pack. He wanted revenge on the healers. Eventually, after 15 years, he made a strong pack, killing all the healers there were. Harrison finishes his story. I was in complete shock, and I stayed quiet for a moment. It took some time for my brain to register this. I wouldn't have believed this if it weren't for the beast I saw a couple of minutes ago. So, there's absolutely no healers alive today? I found my voice. Legend said one was hidden, knowing what the werewolves were up to. I doubt that, though. Up to this day, all of us werewolves despise them, Harrison spits. What do healers do? They are werewolves, just like us, but not made by dark magic. They were made by God themselves to protect the earth. Because of that, we have no choice but to bow down to them. They have the power to heal, to do light or dark magic. Wow, I nod. Is this some type of Twilight thing? Do vampires exist too? Sorry to break it to you, sweetheart, but your dreams of becoming a Bella is terminated. Vampires don't exist. I quickly shake that off. So, when you shift, does it hurt? The first time you shift into a werewolf, which is about when you're 5 or 6. Back at the alley, how did you know that guy? Gary is a werewolf too. He's called an assassin. He's paid to kill people. I shiver at the thought of having him almost kill me. However, I quickly shake them away, focusing on the questions I would like to ask. He said something about lockdown and something about experts. What is that? The experts are a council. Again, made up of the alpha and beta werewolves in a pack. There are 4 packs in this town. One being my father, his beta Tim, another being Brian's father, his beta Colin. Yes, Brian is a werewolf. Raven Pack and Avalon Pack is all made up of werewolves. Scott and I are supposed to take over my father's place soon. Harrison smiles at me reassuringly. A lockdown is when you are under a spell, keeping you locked from your wolf. That only happens if you break a law in our society. So, do you guys have, any other supernatural powers? We have the ability to persuade a person to do what we want, depending on our rank. For example, If I tell Nell to jump off a bridge, he would. We also have the ability to read the minds of our pack and talk to each other through our link. But I'm not a wolf and you still read my mind and stuff? It comes out like a question rather than a statement. About that, Harrison begins nervously, we have this thing called a mate. A mate is basically a soulmate, but in werewolf terms. We are able to have a link with our mate. Mates could be werewolves or humans. He coughs and rubs the back off his neck. I just blink multiple times and look at him funny. And how would you know that the mate? I find the courage to speak. When you look at them in the eye, and all you see is true happiness. Plus, your wolf would want nothing more than to be with them. Harrison stutters and looks around, avoiding my eyes. So, you're saying I'm your mate? No, yes. That's what my wolf is saying. Maybe, he rambles. I think about this for a few moments. This seems to sink into my brain, really and painfully slowly. Then, something clicks. Realization comes across my face. You were the one who bit me about a month ago. I wasn't dreaming. You marked me as your own, huh? I've read enough of this in books to understand. That's why I had feelings about you that I didn't understand. Listen, Jesse, Anger seeps through me.